The first picture is the part where you see the two brothers, okay, and where the arrow is pointing is for their description. So just on the right, I've just made it bigger and then show the medunator clearer, and I think it stands for Ratu or Remetu, okay. But you have the people, and the one on the right is from Lepsius' image with the description, the full description there, you know. And on the bottom is another picture from the same tomb, Ramesses III, and in between the guys, right, if you pay close attention, you will see the signs. You will see the sign that's like that has a round shape, that's the R sound. Then the one, don't know how to describe it, but it's, as a matter of fact, it's a sound for T. Then you can see the symbol for the man, and then you have the symbol for the woman. And Champollion tells us that it's always in the same order, right, no matter which tomb. So this let us know for sure that the people depicted, you know, in the first instance, you can always go back, are the ancient Egyptians, you know. I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but you have to break it down this way, because a lot of people are trying to say that the Lepsius representation is false, is wrong. Okay, so you can bring that up to them and see what they have to say. You know, you have to fight falsehood with facts. Okay. Now, keeping with the topic race and color, I want to address the red thing there. I know they're throwing that a lot. You need to understand that 3,000 to 4,000 years ago, people didn't just walk to a shop and say, "Hello, sir, can I please have some black paint? Thank you." No, it didn't work like that. What they had to do is use the nature to come up with the coloring, okay? And one thing is the red ochre that was abundant over there, right? And I'm going to give references for you to see, and I'm going to show you even more. Let's have a look. Life and Death in Ancient Egypt by Sigrid Heder-Hoenes, page 19. Red was produced almost exclusively from natural iron oxides abundant in Egypt. Not only was abundant, but it was very good as well. For example, you have the Greek Dioscorides, who said about the red ochre, "But yet tectonical is inferior in every respect to ye synoptical, but ye best is ye Egyptian." Egypt Revisited by Ivan van Sertima, page 53. Ancient Egyptians, the dark red race myth. The myth of the Egyptians belonging to the so-called dark red race was created in the early 19th century and continues to be perpetuated by modern scholars and laymen. This premise is based primarily upon the color generally used to depict the ancient Egyptians on wall and papyrus paintings and statues. I am of the opinion, similarly expressed by the late Senegalese scholar Cheikh Anta Diop, that there was no such thing as a dark red race. This hue, in fact, was also used in a symbolic context. Now look at these sisters from Namibia. They are from the Himba tribe. They are covered in red. There's another one who is covered from head to toe, the whole body. You also have that in Kenya. You can see it there. And just in case you want to say it's only sisters so far, there's a brother. So you can get an idea. A few centuries from now, they probably say, look, those people in Namibia, they were not black, they were not African, they were of a red race, they came from, I don't know, who knows, they probably say Asia or whatever, blah, blah, blah. They probably say they were mixed race, then blah, blah, blah. Anyway, besides that, we have to wonder, where do they come from? I'm going to quote Dr. Ben. That's from his book, We the Black Jews. He says, "We came from the beginning of the Nile, where God happy dwells, at the foothills of the mountain of the moon." That's actually around Uganda and Kenya. Okay. Now, I just want to put a disclaimer here. This book is called We the Black Jews, but there's a video that I saw, and Dr. Ben said that he used to be a Jew, that he was born in a Jewish family. He was born in Ethiopia, and he said he used to be a Jew until he knew better. Okay? Anyway, back to the quote. It's from the Papyrus of Hunefer, which is in the British Museum. Now, I've tried to look for a translation, but I didn't find it. And I also read that the same quotation about where the ancient Egyptians came from is in the temple at Edfu in Kemet in Egypt. But I couldn't find a translation for that either. So I just want to make that clear. I want to clarify that. I'm going to take Dr. Ben's word for it on this matter here. And anyway, we know that they came from the south. We know that the place where you have hieroglyphs is in Sudan. We know that there's pyramids in Sudan. There's actually more pyramids in Sudan than there is in Egypt. And Sudanese hieroglyphs hasn't been deciphered yet. Okay, we're going to move on to some images now. Compare the crown with the hairstyle. Respect to Akanti, aka Akunatuna. Nefertiti, that's her real face. I know you're used to this one, but that one is fake, it's anonymous. I recommend to the sisters not to wear it. You can find out more on my blog. I've posted something about it. Here's a close-up. I like that one. Now compare the braid on that brother there with Akhenaten's daughter. Compare Tutankhamun's necklace with this sister from Kenya. Check out the colors. Compare the shape of Akhenaten's head with this brother from Rwanda. Another Himba sister from Namibia, and Akhenaten's daughter on the right. Look at the top of the hair. Watch carefully. Another Tutsi brother. He's not the same as before, but obviously the hairstyle is similar. You can compare that with the blue crown. Have a look at Akhenaten's mother. This is Khufu. Djoser. You can see they didn't like his nose. Mentuhotep. No, this is not a fez. Taharqa. Osar, commonly called Osiris. Kem-Ur, the Great Black. Next, Akhenaten lived around 1300 BCE. David, if he existed, lived around 1000 BCE. That's 300 years apart. Akhenaten was there 3 centuries before David, if he existed. I'm going to show you a case of plagiarism. Some might say it's just a coincidence. What you are looking at is the hymn to Aten, otherwise called the Great Hymn to Aten. Now, Aten is the god that Akhenaten was worshipping. Don't want to go through the whole story because it's available, but this was found in Armana. The original name was Akhet Aten, which means the horizon of Aten. That sounds similar to Akhenaten's name. Now, what I'm about to do is compare the hymn to Aten with Psalm 104, and I will only say the verses because it's all in the same chapter, which is once again Psalm 104. Hymn to Aten. When you set in the western horizon of the sky, the earth is in darkness. Verse 20. You bring on darkness and night falls. Hymn to Aten. Every lion comes forth from his den. Verse 21. The young lion roar after their prey. Hymn to Aten. At daybreak, when thou arisest on the horizon. Verse 22. The sun ariseth. Hymn to Aten. All the world, they do their work. Verse 23. And man goes out to work. Hymn to Aten. Trees and plants are flourishing. Verse 16. The trees of the Lord are full of sap. Hymn to Aten. The birds which fly from their nests. Verse 12. Beside them the birds of the heaven dwell. Hymn to Aten. The ships are sailing north and south as well. Verse 26. There go the ships. Hymn to Aten.
who giveth breath to sustain all that he has made. Verse 29. When you take away their breath, they die. Hymn to Aten. You supply his necessities. Verse 28. That thou givest them, they gather. Hymn to Aten. How manifold it is, what thou hast made. Verse 24. O Lord, how manifold are thy works. Hymn to Aten. For thou hast set a Nile in heaven, that it may descend for them and make waves upon the mountains. Verse 13. He waters the hills from his upper chambers.